Welcome to my C++ series. Today in this video we will learn that what is the strings in C++ and how string works in C++ and how you can use them in C++. So to learn the string you should know what is the character, because we are dealing with the characters. In the previous video we talk about the character array and how character array works. So we have a problems with the character array. For printing the character array, for getting the characters from a user in the character array. So there is a lot of problems that you will be definitely having. I will show you in this video what are the problems and what is the solution for this, because this is a very lengthy topic and it is very deep, because dealing with the characters is not easier. String do different type of manipulation with the characters. You don't have to worry about it. We have a string library for that. Just move on to the code that how string. First of all, I will initialize the char pointer just to show that how strings works. Type the object here, just make a const char object and just store the computer in. If you print on the screen, let's build it and run it. You can see it's printing correctly on the screen. You can do different type of thing and just leave it the blank, and it will definitely show an error because you have in the char pointer you can't change the value of character pointer because it is just pointing to the character array. Just put the breakpoint here, build and run. Go to the debug windows, memory, call the memory 1. Okay, just type the object here. You can see the computer is in the memory. I just opened my memory view and you can see the computer, and it stores the null at the very next index of the array. The char pointer, it is a typical style of dealing with the string in the C language, not in C++. The char pointer is definitely been used a lot in the C language to deal with the strings. Okay, just remove it. Okay, so if we have an array stored computer in it, computer have 8 characters and we will store one by one. Build it and you will run it. You will see it is printing random characters. To show that, just put the breakpoint again here, build and run. Just move to the debug, type the object true. You can see it is printing the object computer and bunch of characters, and there you can see it is computer, and because we don't have a null value, where it is found the null value and it stops the execution, and there is no null value in it. Okay, so where it founds the null value like there, and it stops its execution. For example, I just want to show you, I mean it is a little bit confusion. So the character array prints the data on the screen, but how the character array will know that where to stop its execution? The array stops its execution where it founds the null value. The ASCII of the null is 0. If we just add the 0 here and we'll just increase the size 9 and run it, you can see the computer is printing on the screen, because at the very next we just store the null and it stops its execution where it founds the null value. To make a little bit more clear, put the breakpoint again and build and see in the object which is having the data type of const char pointer, at the very next index there is a null value 0. You can see there is no characters, there is all empty space in the memory. The computer is just saved in the character array, and the const char pointer is pointing to this array. Okay, so that's the way the string works. If we will put the 0 here and just build, remove the breakpoint, build again and run it, you can see it just printing the comp. Whenever it finds the null in the character array, it stops its execution. So that's the way the string works. Because it is difficult to store characters one by one in the character array, so it is difficult to manage with it. For example, I have a paragraph of characters and I don't know the exact characters, so I just give it to the 1000 to the object and just saving a paragraph in it. For example, I just stored 700 characters in it, and then the 300 characters, the space will be empty. The space will not be the free. You can't use it for other purposes because the one character takes 1 byte. The character array, one index is containing 1 byte, and 300 bytes will be empty, and it will not be useful for the other purposes. You only can store the characters. So this is the big disadvantage, that you are creating 1,000 indexes of an array and you are not storing 300 characters. I hope it makes sense to you. To understand the string, just move on to the string. To use the string, you definitely have to include the library string call. Write the string object, just give the name the way we have given the previous ones. You can store anything in it. I mean, you can store this is my computer. Let's build it and run. You can see this is printing. It's very easy. Const star pointer, I have shown you that wherever it forms the null value, it stops its execution. So let's build it and run it. So this is, you can see where it is printing. This is here. But you can do different type of operations on it. For example, object dot size. Let's just move it here. Build and run. You can see it is having 19 characters, so it is just printing the size in it. That you can also add the different type of strings as well. Okay, so to add this string, I want to add the more text in it. As this is my computer and you not allowed. Okay, just print it on the screen, build it and run it. You can see it is printing all the line that this is my computer and you are not allowed to touch it as well. So we are not having a space at the very next value because it is just combined these two strings, and we just have to give the space in it to look the text more useful as well. The other thing that I want to show you that how you can pass these strings to the functions, that just remove it and make a function print string. Just pass the string, just make the variable string, just print it off the screen and just pass to this function print string function, call the object. Let's build and run. You can see the results on the screen here. Okay, so one tip I want to give you, that just don't do this in your code, because you are declaring a variable and it is just making a copy of that. I mean, the size is being taken here, the same size has been taken here. So by doing instead of doing this, you can just pass it by reference here. Just give the reference and just build and run. Yeah, the results will be the same, but the advantage here that it is just referring to this string and it is not taking that size that it was taking before. I hope it makes sense to all of you that how strings works and how you can manipulate different type of operation that we will be learning in the future, that we will be performing different type of operations in the string, where you can learn that how useful the string is. So goodbye for now.